Welcome to Amanda Lifestyle channel. So today I'm gonna try to be very direct. So today I'm gonna talk about a specific subject, which is a part of my membership program that I talk about. I have something that I like to call the life full enjoyment strategy. Ta-da! Sound please. And what is that? Well, that is, I suffered a lot, a long time, because I thought fitness was supposed to be deprivation, was supposed to be starvation. You know, I could only eat chicken and broccoli. I've done so many restricted, crazy diets you wouldn't imagine. And it took me a long time to understand that it didn't have to be that way. I could actually eat good food, enjoy my food, and still have a fit body. And one of the things I love to do the most is going out to dinner. I love, finding out like new restaurants, new cuisines. I love gastronomy. I don't even know if that's a word in English, but whatever. It is in Portuguese, gastronomia. And I love experimenting new food. I love it. I love traveling somewhere and eating at the local favorite restaurant, whatever. It's one of my passions. And it took me a while to understand that I could do both. I could actually enjoy dining out, and I could still be fit and be healthy and have an amazing body. And actually I was just out for dinner yesterday with my family, and I was thinking about that before I used to just like take my container of food or anything, and how depressing that was. And I'm not talking here about competition. If you're competing, there is that little time close to the show that you do really have to be super strict, and you probably couldn't dine out just anywhere, but that's like 1% of the population. When I remember when I did my last show, I was eating out. Well, on the week of the show, I was eating out because we're traveling, we're not here in the US. So we had to eat a lot in restaurants. So there's also some strategies you can use with that. But just on normal life, you can eat out and be healthy. So I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about what I do, what are my strategies. And as I said, this is a part of my exclusive content. I'm gonna have a full article, very more technical about what I do, but I just wanted to share here with you guys. So, example, what I did yesterday. So I went to this new restaurant, not new, but it's like a traditional restaurant that we go here in Naples. I live in Naples, Florida, and they just have like a standard American cuisine. It's nothing out of extraordinary. It's just regular food. And what do I do? So to start, we were there and they had some appetizers at the table. I can eat appetizers, that's easy, that's nothing hard to do, but I just wasn't that hungry yesterday. So what did I do? I skipped the appetizers. But then the waiter, he brought some fresh baked bread with a little bit of butter, and that's not a pet peeve, but that's something I love. I'm not a big bread person. I can do easy without bread, but when it's fresh, it has the smell, and I love like flavored butter. And I could tell it was not just that, frozen butter, you have to try to spread over the bread. No, it was like flavored butter. I don't even know what flavor it was. It was just delicious and scented butter. I could see the texture, the color was different. So like, I want to try this. So I just grabbed a small piece of bread, put a little butter on it, and I ate. No guilt, no overeating, no excessive indulging. I ate a little piece. I just wanted to have the taste, and it was amazing. Like, that's enough. I also love to do that with olive oil whenever they have like super fresh bread. Usually Italian restaurants, they have that a lot. It's like olive oil with maybe some balsamic vinegar, some salt. It's delicious with bread. And I know they say don't mix carbs and fats, and I do that most of the times, but when I'm dining out, I'm going for the flavor. So if they have bread, fresh olive oil, fresh butter, I'm going for it. Just a small piece, just to get the taste. And after that, it came the main course. I have all these options in the menu. This is a critic I have to American restaurants. They have a way of making everything so fat. Not fat in a good way, fat in a bad way. Like even if they have like a plain salad with plain chicken, they add croutons and butter and sauce and this and that. And they transform like a simple grilled chicken salad into something that is 1,000 calories worth. So please, American restaurants, not all of us want to get fat and obese. We really need to pay attention to that. Coming back to the strategy. So they had all these options, and usually what I go to, my favorite, protein and vegetables. Anywhere you go in the world, you can have protein and vegetables. I have never been to a restaurant, and I have been to quite a lot, quite all over the world. Well, Europe and US. I haven't gone down Asia and Africa yet, but I will. But at least all over North America, South America, all over Europe, even like in the Caribbean islands, you can ask protein and vegetables. Any place will do that for you. And I always ask, unless it's a super duper, 5-star Michelin restaurant that, the chef might be insulted if you ask to change some ingredients, I always ask, can I trade this for this, that for that? And they're fine by that, because eventually the restaurant wants you to be happy with your meal. So let's just say, yesterday I chose a filet mignon, and it came with mushrooms on top, a little green salad, whatever, and cauliflower potato mash, and some other vegetables. And I was like, could I change the mash for something else? Because I know, even though it says cauliflower, so you think, oh, cauliflower, it's healthy. Don't get fooled by that. They put tons of milk, tons of butter, tons of cream, and they do a huge mess on the potato mash but they just put the cauliflower word on it, so it sounds healthy. It's not. So I just said, could I change the mash for some veggies? It's like, yeah, sure. So they had some asparagus. So my filet mignon came like a big chunk of filet mignon with mushrooms on top, asparagus, a little green salad. That was it. And it was so delicious because, they always put extra olive oil and extra butter, and that's something you need to account for when you go. So you must be aware that when you're eating even a plain protein source like that, it already comes with a lot of fat. Not to say that's bad. I love my fat, leave my fats alone, the good fat, but just be aware of that. So like even the grilled asparagus, you can compare to the ones you make at home. You said they're shiny, they're beautiful, because they're cooked and grilled in a lot of oil, probably a lot of butter too. But even like that, it's fine, because I just had the little piece of bread, which is a little bit of carb, a little bit of butter, and that's the big chunk of my meal, protein and vegetables. And it was so delicious, it's so flavorful, it's so amazing. So you got that. On the appetizer, usually if they have some sashimi, some any protein source, so you should always go for the protein. Identify in the menu what's a protein source and go for that, because usually when we tend to gain weight or lose control a little bit of our health, it's because we're lacking protein. So if you always go for a high protein meal, you have better chances of making it right than making it wrong. But just keep your eyes attentive for what comes in that protein, because usually on appetizers it's fried stuff, deep fried stuff, or with a lot of carbs, a lot of bread, a lot of flour. So you should try to avoid those things. So on the no list, I'm gonna try to put this, I don't think you can, but No list. Try to avoid fried, deep fried, fake foods. Try to avoid fake foods because the restaurants use a lot of that. Try to avoid flours, which comes in bread, pasta, a lot of excessive carbs. I'm low carb queen. I'm keto, I'm low carb. I'm all about that. Not to say carbs are bad, but if you can avoid them, you're gonna have huge benefits. So try to avoid carbs. Try to avoid excessive like potatoes, tater tots, spaghetti, any type of pasta, any type of bread, flatbreads or anything. If you can avoid better, or if the person cannot change your plate, just don't eat it. Just don't eat it. And I know it's bad. I hate leaving food on my plate too, but I just don't eat it and I feel better. And on the main course, same thing. Go for the protein source. So identify the best protein you can have there. And I don't mean best just by quality, but by your taste. What do you want to eat? Yesterday I could have eaten fish, chicken, and steak. Actually, I was going for the chicken, but I asked what piece of the chicken was, and it was chicken breast. I'm like, no chicken breast, it was chicken thighs. I would have done those because it came with a lot of like good sides on it, but they didn't. So I went for the filet mignon. They had ribs. I could have done the ribs, which are amazing, and I can do the fat on those. So that's it. Identify the protein source, change the sides, and ask for veggies, ask for salads. If you want to have a salad as an appetizer, do that. It's amazing. Just on salads, stay aware for croutons. Usually salads comes with croutons or a lot of fruits. Fruits are not bad, but they're high in sugar. They're healthy, but they're not weight control friendly, if you understand what I mean. Some fruit is okay, but usually they put a lot of fruits, and it's dried foods. They're not necessarily good for you if you're trying to lose some pounds. And also the sauces, always ask for the sauces aside. Always, always, always. Because when you ask for the sauce aside, you can dip your food on a little bit of that. Not to say you can't have the sauce, but when you dip it, you have portion control. When you don't dip it and you just put the full sauce on the salad, steak, whatever, they put a lot, because they want to make you eat more, of course. And dessert, I leave it up to you. I save my carbs for what matter. I tend to not have my carbs on my main meals, and I love to have my carbs on desserts if they have something super delicious, super incredible, super amazing. Then by all means, I will have dessert on there. If it's not something special, then I really don't bother, because my calories are very valuable. They need to be worth it. So I'm not gonna eat just some random chocolate cake because you said it's amazing, but it's dry, has nothing special. If you want me to eat your dessert on your restaurant, you better come up with something amazing. Drink-wise, I'm usually a wine girl. I love wine, I love red wine, so I usually go for red wine. Yesterday when I went for dinner, it was still very early. People tend to dine super early here in Naples, so it was hot yet, so I couldn't do red wine because it was like just gonna burn from the inside. So usually if I'm not going with wine, straight red wine, I go for simple spirits. Tequila, vodka, it's pretty much it. If they have cachaça, which is a Brazilian rum, I'll go for that. And usually try to go with drinks that don't have a lot of mixers on it. So usually when they put drinks together in bars or restaurants, they put so much mixers with sugar, because once again, the more sugary or savory the food or the drink is, it's just gonna make you wanna eat and drink more. And that's what they want. They want you to consume. It's a science. Read it, Google it. As for simple mixed drinks, even if you can do just rum and Coke, if they have Diet Coke, it's better than you just do like a super whopper, blah, 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 full of sugary things, empty calories. Avoid empty calories. So I either go with wine or I go with the skinny margarita, which is, like yesterday I asked if they did a skinny margarita, and most places don't know what skinny margarita is. They think it's just not put extra sugar, but they use the margarita mix, which already has a lot of sugar. So I'm like, could you just mix some tequila with lime juice? Just that, some salt on the rim, ice, beautiful. That's it. Or if I'm going with vodka, sometimes I just use a flavored vodka. I just go with a straight vodka. Or you know what you can do also that I've done sometimes? I just ask for a shot of tequila, a shot of lime juice, and I'll mix it myself, because if I let them to mix it, they'll just put a lot of bad stuff on it. So I think that's it. I hope you guys got a good insight that you can eat out, have fun, enjoy your food, not feel guilty, and don't wreck your gains. I woke up today not bloated, not feeling swollen or anything, not a headache. It's awesome. It's doable. Make fitness simple.